Hi guys, welcome to our YouTube channel, Oluchi's Empire. If you're joining us for the first time, thanks for
Okay, let me do it. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So if you are here for the first time, my name is Oluchi and I'm a YouTuber based in Asaba. I film about marriage, motherhood, lifestyle, music, anything entertaining and educative. Yes, I'm your plug. So and please, if you are a returning subscriber, thank you very much. I appreciate. So today we are doing a
video
on
a trending testimony over the internet about a guy that was kidnapped by Fulani headsmen.
yeah.
It's a very touching story.
This period I've been hearing beautiful testimonies like for instance Adesua and Banky, their testimony. I also have someone I know, really a lady I know that she had fertility problem. Not that she's not even getting pregnant, she's getting pregnant, but every time it's either she has a miscarriage or she gives birth to the baby and the baby dies. So there are a lot of testimonies this year. So but I think when I heard about this man's own, it was mind blowing. I said no, we are going to talk about it in this channel, on this channel, and just to encourage other people that are passing through some difficulties in their life, that just to tell you that God
He answers prayer.
yes, God still answers prayers. So enjoy. Let's just get right into the video.
Okay, we'll put the link for the testimonies. We'll put the link for the testimony at the description of the video so that you can go and read it at any time you want. The testimony is also on Twitter and on different platforms as well. Let me just give a brief summary about the testimony. This young man got transferred to um, Lagos, and he had moved his family and some of his properties to Lagos, but needed to go to Warri to do some final movement, and he was driving. So on his way to Warri at the Benin bypass, just when you engage the Benin bypass, just some few kilometers, he said he heard a loud sound and he thought it was tire, but he noticed that vehicles were slowing down and coming to a halt. So he slowed down his vehicle, and all of a sudden some guys just jumped out of the bush and started shooting in the air and asked him to step out of his car, and he did so. There was a Mercedes car that was in front of him. The car tried to play smart and drove into the bush, and some of the guys, they chased after the car, saying that there's no way the car will go. So he was taken into the bush, and right there in the bush, they started asking him, do you have money? What is it you have? So he gave them a very annoying answer by saying he has just 70,000 naira, and that thing gave him a big blow. He said the blow felt like as if they used wood to hit his face. The punch felt as if they used big wood to hit his face. So because these guys, they were talking of 50 million and they were thinking of millions, and you're just saying 70,000. What 70,000? So as they were going to the bush, they also gave him his phone to contact his wife to see if his wife can contact friends and relations to raise money, but there was no network, so um, there was no way for him to reach his family. And but while they were going in, he took note of the landmarks. He saw the high tension. He took note of an open field that was like a farmstead, a farm. So he was taking note of all the landmarks there. So they got to a stage at night, and finally it was obvious that money will not come out from him. So and he also, one thing is, he took note of what the kidnappers were saying, the intonation, the accents, that he could tell the difference because he did his youth service in the north. He could tell the difference between Hausa and Fulani. He also noticed an Orobo guy among them. So they left him with one of the guys to go and do some other thing. And right there and then he thought of escaping. In fact, he took the initiative of escaping, but the guy that was watching over him chased after him with cutlass and caught up with him, and they fought. The guy gave him cuts all over his body, on his head, different parts of his body, and he was bleeding badly, and he fell on the floor thinking he would die. So the guy left him to get corn, but came back with the other gang members, and when they saw him, that at that point in time, all of this time he has been praying to God to help him. That you really need to read it for yourself, because I will not be able to narrate it as good as he did. So, but all this while he has been praying to God. I even recall when he said he remembered what Bishop Idahosa said, that Lord, please help me. You understand? So
that there is nobody that call upon God, call upon the name of Jesus, and Jesus does not come to your rescue. Once you just say, Jesus help me, Jesus must come to your rescue.
So when the leader and the other gang members came, the leader told him to stand up. He could not stand. For 4 times, they even gave him wood stick for him to support himself, and he still fell on the floor. And the leader was like, if you can't stand, then we'll have to end your life here. And he was praying, and instead of ending his life, they left him. And the leader asked him, can you find your way? He said no, but he will try. And while he was crawling, the guy that wanted to end his life still came back and met him. And while trying to, I think he wanted to shoot him, and the leader appeared from nowhere and told him that no, leave the guy. So that's how he managed. He recalled the high tension, the open field, and started crawling towards that direction. And with the help of the high tension, he found the road and came out to the road. And by then, yes, because of his broken leg and the bleeding, while he was in the bush, he pulled off his shirt to tie his head and his trousers to tie his leg. So he was with only boxer. So by the time he got to the road, he had to pull off the boxer to wave down vehicles, but nobody will stop for a naked man. You understand? Everybody were afraid by that time of the night, very late in the night. A naked,
injured man.
Yes, nobody will stop for such a person. So he had to lie down on the road, and while he was lying down, there was this truck that was coming, and he had no strength to move, but he just had to pray to God and gather his final strength and moved out of the road before the truck would crush him. Not that after escaping those things, a truck will now come and crush him. So finally, that's how he slept off till morning. in the morning.
He could not even sleep
Yes. Okay, so yeah,
because
he
it
could
was
not sleep.
cold.
It was cold. Yes,
He
yes,
couldn't sleep.
yes. So in the morning now by 6, the day was beginning to get bright. So he continued waving, and nobody would stop for him. That was then the realization came to him that nobody will stop for him. The only people that will stop for him is military vehicle. That was when he now prayed to God that please send me a military vehicle. And within 2 minutes, a military vehicle just drove by and waved, and they stopped. And the one of the officers came down and walked close to him. He was now explaining himself to the officer. The officer did not believe and asked him for his wife's phone number. He called his wife's phone number. The officer dialed the number. The wife picked, put it in loudspeaker, and the wife confirmed his identity. And when he confirmed everything, not too long, an ambulance just was passing. So the military officer had to stop the ambulance, and they put him in the ambulance and they took him to the hospital. So in all of this, for every single time he called upon God, something happened.
Yes.
While he was in the bush, he was like, no, I'm not going to die here. This is not the end of my story. Even though he was thinking about his family. There was a time he said he was thinking about his wife, seeing his wife. And
no, at some point he told God that he started confessing his sins and just placing his soul on God, that he's going to die now, that God should accept his soul. And then he said if he could beg God that he doesn't want to die, that if God can do it for him, he doesn't really want to die, that he wants to see his wife and his children again. So
it's a very touching story. So but please take your time, check the link at the description of the video and read it for yourself. It's inspiring. Now why we're doing this video is because there are two things for me that you learn from such testimonies. Number one for me is that God saves. God saves. At that point when you've given up, at that point when you think it's all over, this is it, it is finished, if you can just gather your faith and just say, Lord, please help me, like what he said and what our bishop, our late bishop, our father in the Lord, Bishop Idahosa has said, at that point in time, if you can just gather your faith and just say, Jesus, please help me, that God will come to your aid. I've heard several testimonies where at that point in time when people thought it was the end, this is the end, it's finished, and they just gather their faith and just call on God. Help appeared from nowhere. Something happened from nowhere and they were rescued. You understand? That's one thing I heard that I understand from the God saves. And anybody that calls upon him at the point of desperation, he answers, he saves.
Yes, anybody, meaning that even if you think you are a sinner, you are not even saved yet. Once you call upon God and you believe that he can save you, at that point he will show up for you. When I saw this story and I saw that the guy said Jesus help me, I just recalled that when I was in the labor room, the only thing I said throughout my delivery of my baby was Jesus help me, Jesus help me, and it really helped me. I'm alive today, my baby is safe, my baby is alive. So there's nobody that will call upon the name of Jesus and he will not help you. Now your situation might not be the same as this guy's own. There might be something that you're looking for, you've been praying for. It might be a job, it might be child, a baby or something, and you've been praying, you've been trying to give up, because at some point this guy gave up. It was like he doesn't see himself leaving this place alive. And it's true, because we've heard about so many stories where people are kidnapped, or where these Fulani men, they kidnap people, they don't come back alive. So it's a huge testimony. He gave up, But giving up is it's okay for you to want to give up sometimes. We are human. But we just want to share this story in case you don see it on Twitter or you are not able to see it in another place. So we just want to use these opportunities to share this story and to tell other people that, see, God is real and God can come into that situation you are passing through right now. There is no need for you to give up. Use this guy as an example that if God can do it for this guy, if God can show up when there seem to be no way, even the leader of the team,
Mm.
he got to a point he was even fighting for the guy.
Yes.
He was fighting for the guy, that the guy should be alive, that they should not kill the guy. Do you know what that means? For the leader to be fighting, the person that ordered them to kidnap the person is fighting for the guy. That is God in action. So we just want to use this medium. There's no need for this video to be long. You just go, we'll put the description of the link of the video, so you just check it out, read it. And I think you can also see some pictures of the man.
Yes.
So you know what we are talking about.
Yes.
So just to help your faith, is there anything you're passing through, just believe God can do it. If God can do it for my auntie that I've been looking for baby, I think she got married 2016, a bit 2015. She has been looking for a baby. She will get pregnant. The pregnancy, she will have a miscarriage. The last pregnancy before this one, she gave birth to the baby prematurely, and then they put the baby into the incubator, only for them to come back and find out that the nurse forgot to on the incubator and the baby died. And then ever since, another miscarriage just like that. And recently, this month at the March 31st, she gave birth to a bouncing baby boy. It's a huge testimony. If God can do it for Banky W and the wife, God can do it for you also. So keep your faith up.
Okay. Then the second thing that I got from the testimony is this: that our lives are a book, and until you get to the last page of the book, nothing will take your life.
Yes.
Nothing will take your life. Why we're saying this is because of those who are thinking of committing suicide. Don't end your book when you still have a lot of pages to go through. You understand? Nothing is supposed to take your life except you. Nothing will take your life except you. So until you exhaust your page, the page that God has allocated to you, the volume that God has allocated to you, until you exhaust it, nothing will take your life. So because there's what we call near-death experience. That's when you somebody get close to dying, but death didn't come. As in, the person was what we call at the jaws of death, but was snatched away from the jaws of death. That's near-death experience. You see that for those people, they still have a lot to do in life. That's why their life did not end at that point in time. The only person that can end their life is they themselves. Nobody can end it. It's they themselves that can end it. You see, so for those who are thinking of ending their life, who has given up on life, no, don't give up. God has a lot in store for you. God has a lot He wants to use you. Just gather yourself back. Look at yourself. What is it that God wants to use me for? Or what are the plans that God has me for? This is not the end. I've not seen all. What are the places He wants to take me to? There are so many pages in your books that has not been covered. You understand? So it's not time to give up. It's time to think of the next thing to do. Think of the next step. Think of the next level. Move on. Never give up on life.
Yeah. So guys, I think we're going to end this video here. Right?
Yeah.
So we're going to end this video here. You can drop your comments, drop your comments after reading or checking out the post about the guy. Just drop your comments, like, share the video. You don't know who you might be helping out. Just share the video.
Yes, somebody
Share
who
the
has
video.
given up on life
Yes,
can
might
see
see
the
the
video
video
and be motivated,
yes.
motivated.
So guys, thank you very much for watching. We love you all. Stay blessed, and we'll see you again on our next post. Bye.
Bye.